This is the Kitchen Sink WP podcast, episode 342.
I program my own computer.
We have a server crash, 404 error, page not found, links aren't working, system is crashing, system is crashing, system is crashing.
Your old HTML website, barely alive. We have the technology. We have WordPress. A new website, better than it was before. Better, stronger, faster. We have the technology.
Why, hello everybody. This is Adam Silver, the host of the Kitchen Sink WP podcast. Thanks for being here. All right, let's get started. I'm kind of excited today. So let's see. Upcoming events. WordCamp, Virginia Beach. Online edition, of course. September 19th. I so wish that was in person, obviously, because, well, we all miss WordCamps, but I could just drive up to it. So close. They haven't had a Virginia Beach WordCamp, I don't believe, in a few years, as far as I know. So there's that one. And that is it for the upcoming WordCamps for this next week. Again, if you have something you want me to share, by all means, let me know and I will share it. So, all right, moving on, segment one in the news. Not a ton in the news today, this week. Actually, the one thing I want to mention, well, two things. One is the WordPress themes directory added a new, quote, delist status for non-compliant themes. There's an article at WP Tavern. There's also an article, well, there's a thing over at meta.track.wordpress. I'll link to that in the show notes about themes that are breaking the rules can now be delisted. They'll still allow you to get the updates and maintenance and security updates, but they won't show up in a search unless you have the exact link that you have to know what to look for, because Astra broke the rules a few weeks back, or was it 2 months ago, I think, actually, I'm not sure, a month or two ago, regarding having affiliate links within their plugin, within their theme and stuff. So this is a function now that adds delist option to the theme directory. There's a lot of drama behind this, or some drama behind it, I guess. Not a big deal. But check it out if you want to read all about it. You can link in the show notes. Also want to thank the people who supported me they reached out regarding my hack. They asked questions regarding last week's episode. Quick update, still working on it. In the process, finally came up after 2 weeks of a plan of attack and what I'm doing. And I very well may do an update on that in a few more weeks or months once the dust settles down. But I'm no longer stressed. I was really stressed. We'll talk about that maybe some other time. But I have a couple ideas of how to talk about this whole thing, as well as the mindset, the business decisions that I've made and moved on with. So there you go. So thanks for the people who reached out and making sure I was okay on that. It's a pain in the butt, and it's not a matter of if, it's when. So keep that in mind. Make sure you have backups and a plan in place. So, all right, moving on. Segment two, the meat and potatoes of this week's show, talking about another WordPress alternative. I've been doing it every month. And, for the last, 3-4 months now, 6 months, alternatives to WordPress. And this week I want to mention one that I've heard about but never seen. It's called Ghost. Do you see what I did there? It's called Ghost. So I've heard about it. Anyway, so who is it? What is it? What's it about? What's it cost, etc. So like always, I went ahead and wanted to check it out and use it to build up a real estate website for my buddy Chris as a sample platform, see what works for him. So Ghost is an open source platform, i.e. it's free. You can get your own server, set it up and whatnot, but they also have a comparison website to WordPress, as they say, quote, let's start by talking about what Ghost does the same as WordPress. One of the most loved features of WordPress is that it's open source and flexible, and Ghost has the exact same setup. This is a quote. The main difference is that Ghost is explicitly focused on doing everything really well, doing one thing really well, publishing, which I think is, okay, so does WordPress. So everything revolves around your content. Okay, so like I said, it's open source, it's free, you have to get your own server. They also offered a managed version, which they charge for, and I'll get to that in a bit as well. I'll talk about maybe some pricing there at the end of this. So I wanted to go maybe set this up on my own, but it seemed pretty technical, a bit techy and digitally, so I went to DigitalOcean, there were some droplets mentioned, and I was like, ooh, I don't know if I want to take that kind of time. I want to just be quick and set this up. So I found a well-documented blog post by Matthew Jones. He has a site over exceptionnotfound.net. I'll link to that in the show notes. So if you want to do this in a self-managed, self-hosted way, you can. But I went ahead and signed up for the free 14-day managed trial. So I created the account. Then I'm taken to their dashboard. You do have to put a credit card in, but it says you won't be charged for the first 14 days, which is pretty cool. I clicked button to create a new publication because it said that's what you need to do first. It said it may take up to a minute. Your site will automatically open as soon as it's ready. I said click. I pressed click. It took 28 seconds, so not quite a minute, which is nice. The next screen was Welcome to Ghost, and about some stats, about 2 million people using it right now. Another button was Create Account, and I thought that was odd. So it's got multiple steps. It says create accounts, but I realized it's create a site, really, I suppose. So I gave it a site title, added my name, my email, and the password for the site itself. Then I was given an option to invite staff users, but I skipped that because I don't have any staff to use it or contributors on the site. The next dashboard is where, you kind of, the magic happens, if you will, like the magic dashboard, the dashboard of WordPress. The top navigation had home, tag, author, help. The center of the screen was getting information, getting started info that were technically blog posts, which I realized later on. On the left side of the screen was an area for manage, which is under posts, drafts, scheduled. There's an area for published posts, pages, tags, and staff. And then, of course, a settings tab, settings tab, general, design, code injections, which is not my favorite word at all right now. So you can use, code into the header, footer, etc. Integrations and labs. So being this is going to be a real estate website and I know what I need to do right away, I headed over to design to see what themes I could choose from. I saw 1 free and 3 premium that were right there in front of me. Clicking one of them, the premium one, took me to Theme Forest, which I thought was interesting. Kind of, you leave the site, it opens a new tab. Others take me to some other theme sites, hauntedthemes.com. And then there's also one, the free one was on GitHub. So you can also upload a theme. So I did that. I downloaded the free one from GitHub. It's a zip file. I uploaded it, activated it, works just fine. I also then went to look at Theme Forest because I'm looking to build a real estate theme. And I found ghost themes there, but none in the real estate category. So there is an opportunity for somebody to go build some themes for real estate category for those kind of layouts. And there's a lot of documentation on how to do all that. But of course, I'm just looking for simple, easy of use and implementation for you all to hear as options out there. So with that said, looks to be a bit more work to create the pages. I did create a few more pages. I created about and contact. I created a couple posts. The post looks just like the Gutenberg editor. There's a plus button for additional options, image, gallery, embeds, etc. Then I checked out the integration section back on that left tab, on the left column. There are tons of built-in ones, Zapier, Slack, Unsplash for photos came to mind. There's a button that says, what's the rest of them? And there are a whole bunch more as far as integrations, like MailChimp, YouTube, Buffer. There's a whole directory just for integrations and whatnot. So what I missed really was, as far as all the other platforms I've tried out, is there's no simple way that I could see to kind of lay out and map out pages of content. I mean, you can add photos and text, yes, but as far as a page builder, if you will, kind of like the layout and how you want certain things and columns, I don't see that at all, at least not in the theme that I got to use for free. So, and then Ghost has a section in their quote, in the skinny, or with the skinny section it's called, I guess. It's a little piece of text they had. It kind of literally says, cut to the chase. Ghost is better for publishing and blogging. WordPress is better for WordPress is better for building a dynamic, complex website. So it says Ghost is best if you care about well-designed interface. Your content needs to work well for social and research, speed and performance, and you want to build a sustainable membership business, which I thought was interesting. You might be better off with WordPress when, in the 3 bullet points, you want a full business website without a blog or publication. And okay, I'm going to stop right there. Really? You might be better off if you don't want a blog or publication. How could that possibly be? Because WordPress started off as a blogging platform, and it's inherently built in as, a blog, unless you change it otherwise. I don't know. I just think that's an odd note that they kind of had there as a bullet point. And also it says, if you want extra advanced functionality like e-commerce or custom features and plugins, WordPress is better. So the takeaways here, like I always say, simple for a blog, absolutely. Clean interface, sure. Limited abilities, as they even say themselves, yes. So yeah, not being able to lay out pages or style pages easily is a deal breaker for me on that aspect. If I just really wanted a blog, just a pure blog, and I didn't know anything else and didn't know about WordPress, I suppose I'd give this a chance. So who uses it, by the way? I went to check it up through Wappalizer. Buffer uses it, apparently. Free Code Camp uses it. There's a whole bunch of sites that do use it. I mean, obviously 2 million sites, but some bigger companies. And then as far as costs go, let's see, the pricing there was for the managed stuff. I'll give you the pricing here real quick. It was, I think, the first, basic level, $29 a month, $79 for standard, business, $199 if you do those paid annually. So they limit you based on how many visits, how many staff members, how many members can be there, etc. So between, let's say, $30 to $200 a month if you go annual payments. So, there you go. Check it out if you're interested. There's Ghost. It's all under Ghost Pro. And again, you can go ahead and install this on your self-served host, your own server, host it yourself, like through a DigitalOcean droplet. But you're gonna have to set those things up yourself. And I just find right now setting up WordPress on your own hosting much easier. So there's that. So there you go. There's another CMS WordPress alternative. If you're so inclined, check them out. And that's that. All right, moving on. Segment 3, tip and tool of the week. I want to give credit to Elisa for this one. She had sent out a thing to me way back. We were trying to have a call about something. And I have to do this again this next week, actually. Built a site for somebody. We need to do a training, for a group, a workout group. We're going to use doodle.com. And normally I would use Calendly for my clients. They can schedule based on my calendar. In this case, there's multiple people. So I'll go to doodle.com. I'm going to put in my availability, what works for me, and let them kind of what works for them. And then the one that gets the most matches will win. And I'll set up a little call through Zoom. And there you go. And there's a free level there at Doodle. So check it out. Doodle.com. All right. That is it at the moment. Let me wrap it up here. If you have any questions, go ahead and send it in via email, adam@KitchensinkWP.com, or use the speak pipe function on the website. If you want to support the show, become a Patreon. You want to sponsor the show, become a sponsor. There's a form on the website. Thanks for listening. See you next week. Now go out and do some awesome things with WordPress. All right. Bye-bye.